occasion of Krishna Janmashtami, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who was in Mathura to participate in the Krishnotsav, announced that a ban will be imposed on the sale of liquor and meat in the city. Now, despite the Chief Minister's assurance that a roadmap will be put in place both to implement the ban as well as to rehabilitate the traders, what is the reality check? What's really going to happen? Is it enforceable? Is it practical? And what about those who will be impacted directly by this ban? Times now with a ground reality check.
अब कारोबार ये करते थे यहाँ का मीट का ही। अब तो बहुत परेशान हैं इस वक्त हम। बताइए आप कहाँ जामे हम आप? हमारे बच्चे परेशान हैं, ना पढ़ाई ना लिखाई, कहाँ से लाएं बच्चों को नहीं है। अब बच्चों को नहीं चाहिए, जब पैसा होगा तभी तो पढ़ाई लिखाई बच्चे की होगा।
मुखिया के 4 बेटे हैं तो चारों को एक नज़र से दिखना चाहिए उनको। 3 बेटों को तो अच्छी तरह देखते हैं, एक बेटे को गलत देखते हैं वो। अब इनको भी देखना चाहिए। 20,000 परिवार स्लैटर हाउस से लग रहा है। 20,000 परिवार स्लैटर हाउस से लग रहा है। 20,000 परिवार बेकार हो गया।
समय समय पर तमाम संतों ने, महंतों ने और स्थानीय लोगों ने मांग उठाई है, मगर किसी सरकार ने सुना नहीं है। यह मांग निरंतर चल रही थी और अब योगी जी की शासन आने के बाद पुनः इस मांग को निरंतर उठाया जा रहा था। मुख्यमंत्री जी ने यह घोषणा की, यह अति प्रसन्नता का विषय है।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson, BJP, continues with us. We are joined by Sri Raj Nair, National Spokesperson of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Sharad Pradhan, Senior Journalist, Faiz Khan, Spokesperson of the BSP. Sanju Verma, I want to start by asking you, does prohibition ever work? Even in the existing temple towns, it's hardly enforced. Why have people go out of work in Mathura as well?
You know, Padmaja, that's an interesting question. There's the moral aspect to it and there's the financial aspect to it. You are right. You know, there was an alcohol ban in Andhra Pradesh in the 1990s, but then after a couple of years, it came back. And in 2014, after 17 years, the ban on alcohol in Mizoram was lifted. So these are examples where ban did not work for whatever reason. Now, in the case of Uttar Pradesh, I think it's a different kettle of fish. And I say this because the ban on meat sale and sale of liquor that was, brought in 2017 in the Vrindavan area, I think that has worked very well because the people who lost their livelihood due to the alcohol and meat ban in Vrindavan region, they were rehabilitated by the Yogi Adityanath administration. And that is precisely what he's saying, that we want to make Mathura a tourist, a spiritual, a cultural hub, which means more livelihood for more number of people and people who lose their jobs because they were selling liquor or selling meat. There will be a proper rehabilitation plan that will be put in action so that livelihood and jobs are not lost. So like I said, the moral and the financial aspect will be synchronized to ensure that while the spiritual heritage is kept intact, livelihoods are also not lost.
Okay, Faiz Khan साहब,
in bringing this in.
योगी आदित्यनाथ का कहना है कि वहाँ के लोगों की मांग है, ये एक धार्मिक स्थल है, लोगों की आस्था जुड़ी हुई है और मीट और अल्कोहल की सेल से उनकी भावना आहत होती है।
मैं इस पे बस इतना कहना चाहूँगा कि आई डोंट नो कि ये पॉलिसीज़ जो भी बना रहे हैं यूपी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के, वो कौन लोग हैं जो इस तरह की मांग को डिमांड कर रहे हैं। आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस बिकॉज द टोटल पॉलिसीज़ ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट इज़ टुवर्ड्स द पोलराइजेशन। आप अगर इसे समूचे में देखें, उत्तर प्रदेश में जनता इतनी ज़्यादा बहरहाल है कोरोना को लेकर, बेरोजगारी को लेकर, फार्मर्स किसान आंदोलन आप देख लीजिए होने वाला है 5 तारीख को। तो आप ये देखिए कि उस पर ना वर्क करके आखिर ये समाज को क्या किस तरह बांटना चाहते हैं और चुनावी माहौल के तहत ये सारे डिसीजन से लगातार लिए जा रहे हैं। नाम बदलने की
ऐसा बोला जा रहा है कि ये फेथ के बारे में है, ये उनकी फीलिंग्स के बारे में है।
क्या फेथ के बारे में है? वेयर इन इंडिया, मैम यू आर वेल अवेयर अबाउट दिस फैक्ट दैट 70% पॉपुलेशन ईट्स मीट। 70% के पॉपुलेशन हमारी मीट खाती है। मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूं कि मीट जो चीज बैंड है उसे आप बैंड करें, पर आहत आपको मीट से क्या प्रॉब्लम हो गई? इफ यू आर बैंड द बीफ देन इट्स ओके।
हाँ।
जो चीज आहत की है वो तो समझ में आती है, बट नॉन वेज को आप जो है अगर बैन कर रहे हैं, ये समझ में के परे है, क्योंकि राइट टू चॉइस ऑफ फूड भी इसी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में हक दिया गया है।
श्रीराज नायर, to be
और
fair,
अलग से उत्तर प्रदेश और लोगों के लिए
देश के हर कोने में है।
कौन से पॉलिसीज के तहत आप ला रहे हैं?
भावना वहां भी जुड़ी हुई है, बट ऐसा ही क्योंकि कुछ ही जगहों पर बैन किया जा रहा है? क्या बाकी देश के हिस्सों में जब टेम्पल्स के आसपास मीट कंज्यूम होता है तब भावनाएं आहत नहीं होती?
मैम दैट्स व्हाई।
श्रीराज नायर,
मैम कंज्यूम की बात नहीं है।
वेल मैडम, हाँ, वेल मैडम पद्मजा, देयर इज सेइंग इन मलयालम, प्लीज let me speak.
Yes, go on,
ask him
Mr.
to
Nair,
shut
yes.
up. I'll let me answer. See, well, Madam Padmaja, there is a saying in our Malayalam. There is a saying that it's very easy to climb on a tree which is fallen. Please don't misunderstand that Hindus can be at the receiving end forever. Let me make it very clear. Now, Mr. Faiz was talking about choice of food. Will he be ready to have? Will he be ready to have a pork selling place opposite a mosque? Will he? These people in Lakshadweep, they were shouting and howling to ban alcohol. Why this kind of selective things? Mathura, Kashi and Ayodhya and in certain places in South India, these are all revered places, and the people, local people demand that there should be a ban, and the government is very clearly saying whoever is going to lose their livelihood, they will be rehabilitated. But always it cannot be selectively Hindu bashing. I am very clear that if Mr. Faiz or anybody is objecting to this, do they have any guts to talk about similar things, about organizing pork festivals or having
religious
pork
sensitivity
marts
cannot be
or
selective,
pork
Sharad
selling,
Pradhan. It is a religious sensitivity which has now been respected.
Right?
Like in Mecca, so
I have a different take on this, Padmaja.
Yes.
The point is, are we preventing evil, keeping evil away from these revered places? If the intention is to knock off mutton and chicken or fish, any non-vegetarian food, then it is a different issue. But if the fundamental behind it is that there should be no evil in a religious place, revered place, I fully agree with this. But the point is only eating meat an irreligious thing and evil? There are so many other evils which need to be completely shunned. Would they have a law to see that there is no black marketing in that place? There is no adulteration in that place. There is no rape in that place. There is no corruption in that place. Because they are all evils. And these evils need to be along with mutton and...
Interesting point, Sanju Verma.
Yeah. Padmaja, I am completely amused that each time there is some law that seeks to reinforce our spiritual heritage, the kind of false equivalences that are drawn are tragic and funny, both at the same time. Let me tell you that in Mecca, non-Muslims are not allowed. Pork is banned. In Saudi Arabia, legally you cannot consume pork and people have been whiplash to death. Let me give you another example, a small example. One of the biggest oil conglomerates globally is a Saudi Arabian company called Aramco, which employs 70,000 people, 50% of which are foreigners. But these foreigners are employed on the basis that they will not consume pork. And I don't see anyone raising or batting an eyelid. Let me give you another example. A couple of years ago, champion Louis Hamilton was asked to leave the Wimbledon Royal Box because he came in wearing a bandana and a Hawaii shirt rather than a pinstripe tie and suit. The point I'm making is there are places where you need to follow a certain decorum.
Okay, it is about the ethos of the place, not the larger thing about evil. It's just the ethos and the feeling.
I'd like to reply.
Yes, the purity of the place. Sharad Pradhan.
Well, I respect this sentiment, but I didn't know that we were supposed to imbibe the practices in a regressive, stupid countries like the examples that have been given. I would not want India to become a Taliban. I would not. Please let me speak. Please don't interfere. Now, have manners.
Let Mr. Pradhan finish, please, Sanju Verma. Then Sriraj Nair also wants to come in.
I did not interfere in her.
Do not compare Saudi and India.
Do not compare. We are not living in Taliban. Do you agree with what they are doing? Do you agree with they ban these kind of things there? If the pork is banned there, do you agree with that? Are we making India a Taliban? It's a shame if people to think like that.
Sriraj Nair. Sriraj Nair.
Muslim friends to eat pork. So stop lecturing. Pork is banned in more than 40 to 50 Islamic nations.
Well, let it be banned. Let it be banned. They are foolish. I consider them foolish.
Talk about India. Talk about India.
Talk about India.
You have visceral hatred for Yogi Adityanath.
Nobody is talking of Yogi Adityanath. You are crazy. You are crazy. You must be crazy. You must be crazy.
Okay, let Sriraj Nair respond. Let Sriraj Nair respond.
I think it's a great step to ban meat and alcohol in Mathura. If you don't like it,
Okay, Sriraj Nair, why have the comparison between what happens in Saudi Arabia and India? We are vastly different in our culture. Way more tolerant, way more liberal.
We are more liberal. We are a democracy.
Sriraj Nair.
Well, Madam Padmaja, let me make it very clear. Please, Mr. Sharad Pradhan, you spoke. Let me speak.
Please speak. Please speak. Nobody is stopping you.
See, Madam, yes, I am saying there is no comparison. But let me put it very clear. Bharat is a Hindu land. And we are all Hindus, are indigenous people of this land. We all know how Abrahamic
No, this is a democratic land.
We all know how Abrahamic came here.
We
have to respect
this is a
indigenous
democratic
people.
country we are
This
living.
is a Hindu land.
What rubbish they are talking about?
We don't want to be apologetic. This is a Hindu Rashtra and we don't want to be apologetic about it.
Then ban in all the countries.
Very clear. Point blank.
Mr. Khan.
Everywhere, whatever. Yes. Wait, Mr. Pradhan. Wait, Mr. Pradhan.
Ma'am, what he is speaking, he can't understand.
See, you see,
India is the country where we obey our constitution.
Abrogation of 3 it's a Hindu Rashtra. It's a Hindu Rashtra.
But you know, just a second, Mr. Sriraj Nair, while I'm all for respecting religious sensitivities, the fact is that people who are involved in this trade, who will be negatively impacted, it will give rise to a black market, are also Hindus. So what is your gain, your net gain from this move?
They are more than Muslims.
That is the whole trouble. They just want to make it a Hindu-Muslim issue.
Sriraj Nair.
Very straight.
Law and order has to be taken care of. But, Mr. Sharad,
that's why I said earlier that they are making the polarization in the state.
You forget about Saudi Arabia. Start selling pork. Start selling pork in front of mosques.
Why we will talk about Saudi Arabia? We are living in our own country, that is India.
Understand, Hindus have awakened. Hindus have awakened. Mr. Sharad Pradhan, people like you are exposed. Hindus have awakened. Hindus have awakened.
But sir, what is the net gain that you stand to have is my point even now. If you look at it very practically, I totally understand sensitivity, Sanju Verma, but it keeps circling back to one, you yourself have acknowledged enforcement is impossible. You look at the case of, I have personally been to Rishikesh and Haridwar, and even though the religious cities have banned the consumption of meat and alcohol, you know as well as I do, meters away, you've got restaurants in the border between cities where meat and alcohol flows freely. What is the sense in that?
I think, Padmaja, you raised a very important question, so I'll quickly tell you. First and foremost, the prerogative to ban meat and alcohol lies with the state government, Yogi Adityanath in this case. So constitutionally and technically, he's absolutely right. Point number 2, was there a broad consensus before this decision was taken? Yes. Most citizen committees, saints and seers of Mathura asked that let there be a meat and liquor ban. Point number 3, will it be easy to implement? Well, it failed in Andhra Pradesh, it failed in Mizoram, but Yogi Adityanath is the district technocrat. It has succeeded in Vrindavan since 2017. So I see no reason why it will not succeed in Mathura. And the most important point, the Saudi Arabia example was simply to make a larger point that in Mecca, pork is not allowed. So people like Sharad Pradhan who come and give a
you should go and live in, you should go to Saudi Arabia.
Muslims as to why they disallow pork in front of mosques.
Okay, you know, I think the only way to settle this is, principally, I am against prohibition of any kind. Having said that, there should be a petition in court questioning the wisdom of this particular move. Having said that, let me also remind our viewers that in 2004, the ban in Rishikesh was taken before the Supreme Court, and that plea was actually turned down by the court, which said geographical situation and peculiar culture of the three towns justify complete restriction on trade and public dealing in non-vegetarian food items, including eggs, within the municipal limits of the towns. Let's see what the court ultimately decides. For the time being, thank you very much, all gentlemen, and Sanju Verma for joining me. See you tomorrow.